When the doubt gets loud, but answer that call. Vision ain't real till you grind at speed, so breathing deep. Then call the damn leads. Call the damn leads.
Hey, welcome back to Call the Damn Leads, the show by sales professionals for sales professionals. I'm your host, Drewbie Wilson. With more than 2 decades in sales, I've seen it, been through it, heard about it. Now I'm bringing those stories to you, my favorite people in the world, the sales community. Because let's be honest, this is the greatest job on earth. It doesn't matter where you come from, what background, what personality type, you can carve a pretty amazing life in sales. Today's guest is no stranger to the journey. I'd like to welcome Jason Donapel to the show. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Drewbie. Thanks so much for having me on here, bro.
Absolutely excited to jump right in. I want to hear your crazy sales story.
Yeah, you know what? My favorite one was this time last year. I was at an event for an SMS marketing program called Attentive. They had me speaking at their corporate kickoff. So it was me, and I think there was like 1,100 employees, right? So nobody to pitch. It wasn't that kind of a show. But I did share the stage with a CMO of Tecovas Western Wear. At the time, we were on a panel together and ended up closing that deal. And I've been working with Tecovas ever since as a strategic advisor. 12 months plus. So I like to say that I pitched and closed the only person in the event that day.
It's always fun when you can go into a situation with zero agenda other than, hey, I'm just going to show up and provide as much value as possible and just do right. And to be rewarded with an opportunity based on someone else seeing that and going, that's the guy that can solve our problem. And it's always been fun to me to hear those stories and to have some of my own, obviously. What I'd be curious about, how did that conversation start? Did he just come up to you and go, hey, man, I want to chat more about this? Or like, you're on stage, you're doing this panel. Give me the rundown.
Yeah, we're back in the little green room area, kind of just talking shop. Myself, her name's Krista Dalton, Tecovas. And we were just talking shop, right? Hey, we're trying to collect birthdays from our users, and I'm having trouble getting it to this part of my pro. And I, just in the mix, I said, oh, put me in touch with your tech team. I'll get that figured out for you. I run an agency. I can get that solved for you in a day. It's a fake problem. Let me handle that for you. On stage afterwards, she was asked, one of the questions she fielded was about marketing budgets for this year, I guess, or for whatever, shrinking marketing budgets and how we're going to deal with it. And her answer was, I'm actually going to extend my budget so I can hire Jason over here. So that was the first inkling that I heard, like, oh, there might be a deal here for me. And then we just kept in touch, right? Just keep in touch, build things that work, try to provide mentorship to anybody I can. And eventually it comes through.
I love that. And so what I'm excited about for this conversation, Jason, is you come from a side of sales and marketing that I am a huge fan of and I think is severely underutilized by the majority of sales professionals and small business owners today. And what I mean by that is SMS, email marketing. It is a different type of sales that isn't necessarily calling the damn leads. And yet, in 2026, it is my belief that it is imperative that you are utilizing these strategies alongside of actually picking up the phone and calling. So, why email marketing for you? Why go that path to begin with? How did you end up in that space?
Oh, so email, I was in e-commerce warehouse worker, picking, packing, shipping, for an e-commerce company. I was there for about 10 years. And by the end of that, I had become the head of marketing for the company because I just get in there and use your hands and do the work you can do your best every day.
Yep.
So as the head of marketing there, I was exposed to a lot of channels, Meta, Google, all those kind of D2C, e-commerce-y ones. And email was just the one that stuck with me. I liked the fact that it was an opt-in, so I didn't feel creepy following people on the internet with retargeting ads and getting, acquisition. I like the fact that people knew they were on my list. They signed up for my list and I gave them off ramps. Unsubscribe, man, get out of here if you don't want to be here. And I just always, that relationship kind of stuck with me. And then as the years went on, we got more channels, right? We got SMS now, we got messengers in the mix, WhatsApp, LinkedIn message, all of it's out there on the table. But to me, It's the same as a phone call, right? It's the same as a direct mail. It's just another channel to get your message across to the person that you want to hear it, or the organization you want to hear it. So I just kind of found my space and stuck with it. I've been in there now for, I'm 41 now, so 20 years or something. And it's just kind of every year, just kind of re-up, keep going.
I appreciate someone who finds a lane and stays committed to it. A lot of sales professionals make the mistake of like getting into one thing and then seeing the shiny object and then jumping over here and then seeing a shiny object and jumping, and they don't become true masters of the product and the service. You can be a master sales professional and you can make money in any of these places, but like to truly master the specific product and service that you offer, it requires that sort of, 10, 20 year commitment. So I give you kudos because it does require that, because it's always changing too. There's always new things happening. Even now, figuring out how to show up in the email inbox and how to make sure that people actually see your messages and don't unsubscribe right away. There's so many layers to this. And so, what would you say is the number one thing or number one mistake that small business owners and sales professionals are making when it comes to using email and SMS and some of these other channels?
I think that what I see is that people are not seeing the full layer of outreach, right? They're thinking of cold email or warm email or email to an opted-in person for like e-commerce like I run. I mean, we do run a lot of cold outbound for our agency, right? We do B2B sales. Sure. That's how we stay alive. But what I really see is that salespeople, they have their thing, and then that thing becomes like the tactic, the goal, the everything. Like I make calls, or I send emails, or I do LinkedIn outreach. What I've found that really works for us and for my clients is the unlocking of like all of those together are greater than the sum of their parts, right? So in that Tecovas example, it's not like I left the event and then had a contract in hand, right? There was calls and there was follow-ups and things that had to do. And as part of that, I'll give away one of like my favorite tricks that I do is if I'm trying to get into an organization, I might be selling to the CMO, but I'm trying to become a thought leader in the whole org. I don't care. If there's somebody at a register, I want them to know who I am and know that I'm good at the marketing that I do. So what I'll do is I'll do a lot of digging and just list build everybody in the company. I don't care what position you're in. And I'm trying to find professional emails. I'm trying to find personal emails. I'm using personal emails to run meta ads, and I'm using professional emails to run LinkedIn ads. And these are ads to what? Groups of 400 or 500 people per company, like very small ads, $5 a day. You're getting coverage. A lot of times I don't even put CTAs on them. It's just videos of me talking about my craft, because what I'm trying to create is the environment for my call to hit where I want it to hit, right? I get on the phone with the actual buyer and they walk away and talk to somebody in their next meeting about, oh, I just talked to this Jason guy about email. And they're like, oh, wait, I feel like I've seen him on LinkedIn. He's really good. And all of a sudden now we're talking, and I'm trying to create heroes in the org that I've never even met, right? And that's been something that's really carried me a long way. And by the time we get to the cold outreach, it's not that cold anymore. Like we're kind of in the mix. And I think that with careful, again, just blending it all together, like the ads are not going to work on their own. There's not even a CTA on them a lot of times. The calls are not going to stand on their own as well as they would with the ads backing them up. And then every little pillar you can put around your call is really what I'm interested in doing.
I absolutely love this for so many reasons. But number one, I have been trying to push the message and reminder to sales professionals that it is not what they've been trained on in terms of someone sees an ad, they give a name, phone, email, we call, we sell them stuff. It is so much more than that in today's day and age to build the trust, to get that know, like, trust factor to the level where they even want to know who you are. Like, people don't care. They don't care about you. They don't. But if you can position yourself correctly, you can put this kind of message out there and build the brand champions, like you said. That's where it's almost like an invisible layer of trust comes in, because as you said, you have one conversation, they go talk to someone else, and it's like, wait, that guy's famous. I've seen him on the internet somewhere. Like, he's on TV. I swear, maybe he was on a billboard or something. Like, they don't necessarily know where, but that recognition is what you're looking for. And I really appreciate the way that you laid that out there, because it is. I mean, it's 2026. People have call blocking. They can very easily just ignore you or unsubscribe. So you have to create a message that it creates a relationship. And with the amount of AI and all the stuff that exists where people are trying to shortcut that process, I would be curious your thoughts on the ongoing relationship process utilizing these strategies.
Yeah. So when I'm thinking about relationship building it goes from like cold lead, and then you can follow it all the way through to like, hey, we're trying to re-up you on another package next year. So
yep.
There's going to be, it's almost like if you think about there's a knot on a rope, and then as it moves, the rope might be all fibers here, and then it's like a silk rope, and it's like a different rope, and the knot feels different depending on where it is, but it's one life cycle. It's one rope. Yep. So when, for example, for the coldest of cold, I had a call this morning with somebody from Outreach. I didn't even tell them what product I sold. I didn't even tell them any of that at all. All we talked about was, oh, I saw your welcome series. I think you're doing this really well. Here's some stuff I'm doing over with this company. By the end of that call, she told me that, wow, like you really got my brain moving. I have all these ideas. And right there, I'm like, that's great. Our relationship, we're now in the Silk Road. Like we just moved from rope to silk or whatever it is. And eventually we might talk in a couple of weeks and then do an audit and have a proper, working relationship. I just think whenever I am talking to somebody, whether it's a sales call or whether it's like a co-selling move, action with a partner, I'm thinking of the person across from me, and I'm thinking, how do I get this person promoted in whatever role they're in? And then how can I be unreasonable in my attempts to do so? And that has led me to nothing but goodness, honestly. Like that's just something that I've kind of put internally for every relationship I have, and it always returns. It just always returns. And I don't really have to worry about what should I do today, or I know what I have to do. I have to help this person sell email, or help Drewbie make a better podcast recording, or whatever it is. And if I just keep checking those boxes, dude, the sales are almost like a side effect of just handling your business properly.
Oh, that's so good. Is that something you've always known, or is that something that you learned and developed?
No, definitely learned. The first half plus of my career, even more, maybe the first 85% of my career or something, very front loaded on, here I am, I'm the expert. Let me tell you how we do these things, and I have all the answers. Let's go. And that's a rough road for everybody. And at somewhere along the way, I made a shift to like, no, you know all the answers. I'm an expert at supporting you get to where you need to be. And that little shift, it took so much mental drain away from like, how do I show up for this person, and how do I win this lead, and I don't got to win anything. I get you promoted and then we win. And that's really all it is. Where are you today? How do we get you to the next place? How do we get you promoted? All right, we need better stories for your CMO or your CEO. We can do that. Let's make some projects to tackle it together. I focus a lot more on the actions I can control rather than the outcomes I can't, right? Like I don't really gauge my success by how many closes I had in a month. It's more how many actions I took towards close. And I know that X amount of actions equal X amount of closes over a long enough time horizon. So if I can just show up and plug away, stay in the pocket, I like to say, the outcomes I want will follow.
Ooh, all right. I love this. And it brings me to the question of, so we know we're not going to win every deal. And sometimes we get a deal and they decide that they're going to go try something else, right? They find a sweeter pot somewhere, and we have to worry about that. What is your follow-up process? Is it something that you're super high follow-up? Do you have, like, give me the strategy behind how you guys do follow-up? And you don't have to give us everything, but, like, what's your process behind it?
No, follow-up for like a positive first touch is, I guess there's not really much nuance there. It's just staying on top of it and keeping the momentum going. Hey, I think you want this. Let's just keep the conversation going. And If there's anything I can offer along the way, I make it happen. If my team can redesign an email or something, we make it happen. Another one that I found, which is it's a little more nuanced, but it's been working well for me, is like leveraging AI in a way to deliver things that used to be, they still have a high perceived value, right? Because AI hasn't been around long enough for people to be like, oh, everything's free, depending on who you're talking to.
Right.
But it can lower your barrier to what we used to give away as like lead magnets and free things, that actually you can give away way more valuable stuff now because AI empowers you to create more cheaply. So I'll give you an example of a deal that was closed yesterday or the day before, and it was moving a whole email program from like list track to attentive, right? A migration move one to the other. And one of the big hangups was that they had this HubSpot integration. Attentive not going to integrate with HubSpot, and we're like, well, this is a deal killer that nobody like, because typically it's, all right, we can connect your HubSpot. It's another $5K. Like, it's not a good thing for a deal. And it's a painful, but with AI, and I know that we can use AI code to get these things developed very rapidly. I was able to say, look, we'll throw a free HubSpot integration together for you to make this deal work. That unlocked a $7,200 close, which would have been out of reach. It just would have been the end of the road. And now I was able to say, and I put a limit on it. I said, look, we're going to give you 10 hours of free dev towards this integration. I feel like with AI, that'll knock out the whole thing. But if it goes over, we're going to bill you whatever, $200 an hour. They're still on board because it's such a good motion for everybody. And it helps my co-sale relationships. It helps my client relationship with the new client. And it just opens up these doors. And now I'm holding this integration that I built. And I can, anybody who I come across in the future, I'm like, hey, here's this freebie, this free $5,000 thing. The value still feels so high. And to me, it's unlocking the real margin dollars of, migrating work and moving email services. So I would really encourage you. I feel like everybody's using AI to like write their messages and kind of, I don't want to say cheat, but to optimize on that end. And I would say, can you use it to make a better deliverable to get you in the door, even like a better free something, a better handout? And I think you can, if you think of it, if you really put your mind to it.
One of the things that I've been experiencing internally, and I'll share it with you because I think you'll appreciate it. And when this comes out and you guys catch up with us in the AI world, anytime I run into something where it's like, hey, I have this process of walking through, whatever with someone, it's like, how can we just turn this into a GPT so that people feel like it's an engaged thing versus them doing homework? Because if they feel like they're talking to a robot and it's interacting with them, like they feel so much more excited to do the thing versus, hey, here's a 10-page PDF for you to read. It's like, hey, man, if I give you a robot to interact with, you have way more fun and I can add silly little stuff to it, right, and just make it quirky, versus the PDF was still extremely valuable, but it didn't have that same emotional connection. So, like, I love throwing silly little things like that together and being able to say, hey, community, we've got this thing that we built for a client that would normally cost $20,000 or $10,000. Who wants it? And they're like, yes, of course. And you're like, yep, here you go.
Here you go.
And you're benefiting because you've learned how to create it. It's helping other people. And then, as you said, the authority that you can build by going into the market and being like, here's all this stuff, have at it. Like, let us know if you need more help. It's so much more fun to do sales that way than the cold calling and the cold emailing and the constantly trying to chase people down. And so I appreciate your perspective on that because it does make, in my opinion, sales way more fun, right? What's the quote that, I don't know if you ever heard this quote, but it's like, sales is the hardest $50,000 a year job you'll ever have and the easiest $250,000 a year job.
I haven't heard that, but I love it. Yeah, it's great. That's great.
It's just one of those things, man. And so before we get out of here, I would love to know, like, when it comes to email follow-up, I know you come from the e-com world, and a lot of our people are kind of more home service or like real estate insurance. Like, what would you say are some of the keys to that initial outreach when someone has requested or opted in for something? Like, what are some of the things they can do to really increase that connection point?
So it starts before the connection point. I think this is where we got hung up in email and SMS because we focus on that moment of send.
Okay.
by that point, you're in the lane you're in. Like you're sending what you have, right? Like they're here. So I like to bring people in through the way that I bring people into my email follow-ups really dictate what they're going to get. Like that's a decision I make beforehand, right? So here's an example that kind of ties a couple ideas together. Like on our website, we sell our flagship product is it's called the Retention Forensics Program. And it's just the most in-depth audit you'll ever see on your email and SMS outreach, right? $2,000 product. So it's not high ticket, but it takes a couple touches sometimes. Sure. I've also created on the site a single flow like journey automation analysis tool, and I created a tool it's called a retargeting tool. So it says, show me what campaigns you've sent this month, and I'll show you what you should have been retargeting for more to improve your strategy. So those are tools that are adjacent to my product. But if you're on the product page and you go to leave, it'll say, hey, do a self-analysis. Use our AI tool. Great. You use the AI tool. You sign up for your free account to get the free uses. I have your email address. And now the follow-ups are all around that. Did you run a report today? Oh, you ran a report. Here's the results. Here's what I think of the results. Hey, don't forget to run your free report tomorrow. Creating reasons just to get the message out there, and then you can fill it up with whatever we're in the lane. We're talking about email. We're talking about SMS. Anything in this channel is going to help me out. So I really, just take a step back and think about the message as like the middle piece, but you have to address how you're setting up that message before you go crazy sending it, dude. You can't. If you're sitting there and going through your list of 3,000 leads or whatever for cold outreach, and you have your company tag and your first name tag, I feel like you're already in trouble. Like you need to take a step back and say, hold on, I got to prepare myself to send a better message because this shit's not going to work. It's just, maybe it will at a 0.5% or something, but it's not going to do what you want it to do. And what I found is that setting this up, it's not even like, yes, it's led to deals and closes and stuff, but it's led to this community of people that will just like, oh, hey, go to this guy's website. He has a free analysis tool. And all of a sudden it's like a part of the marketing. The free reports that it gives out, the shareable journey analysis is marketing, right? I analyze my welcome series. It gives me a shareable PDF. I share it with Drewbie. Drewbie's like, oh shit, I got to go analyze my welcome series. And all of a sudden now you're on my list. And you're on my list for this reason. I know why you're here. We can talk about welcomes. We can talk about whatever. So yeah, just spend more time before the send, dude. That's for cold and for the traditional e-com outreach, right? Think about it way before you hit that send button.
I really appreciate that. And you're right. People are just sending a bold, vague message to everyone instead of segmenting it down and being very intentional about the customer journey that they're going through. And that, as you said, starts long before they actually give you their email address. So, man, this has been a gem. And I know we could probably sit and nerd out on this for many hours because I love this topic. But I do want to respect your time. How do we find you, follow you, check out more of your content? Because I know this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. You can search Jason Donapel, Donapel, and our website is experience.email.
Easy enough. I will make sure we get all that in the show notes, man. Thank you again for hanging out with us. This has been a blast.
Yeah, brother. I really appreciate the time, dude. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Listen, if you guys enjoyed the show, if you got some value out of it, go share it on social media. Tag me, tag Jason, let the world know you enjoyed it. Maybe you know somebody who sucks at email marketing. Send them this episode. You don't have to tell them their emails suck, but send them the episode. Help them get better. That's the whole point of this show, is to spread the message and help people dial in and find the little things that will make you a more successful professional. And maybe you've got a cool sales story, like sitting on stage and closing a massive deal at a conference where deals weren't being pitched. I'd love to tell it. Bring it to the show. Head over to callthedamnleads.com/podcast. Send us your details. Get signed up. While you're there, grab a hat, t-shirt, keychain, something. Support the show. We'll see you guys next time. Go call the damn leads.
When the doubt gets loud, but answer that call. Vision ain't real till you grind that speed, so breathing deep. Then call the damn leads. Call the damn leads.